Have you ever finished masturbating, and suddenly felt disappointed in yourself? You tell yourself, why did I do that again? Then comes the guilt, you promise yourself you'll stop, but a few days later, the same cycle happens again, and slowly, you start losing trust in yourself. But what if the real transformation isn't about simply stopping masturbation? What if it's about breaking the cycle of guilt, impulsive behavior, and self-doubt, and replacing it with self-control and confidence? Let's talk about what can really happen psychologically when you decide to abstain. For some men, the cycle looks like this: an urge appears, you act on it, you experience temporary pleasure, then you feel guilty or disappointed, you promise yourself never again, but eventually, the urge returns, you give in again, and the cycle repeats. The problem isn't necessarily masturbation itself. Masturbation is a common sexual behavior and isn't automatically harmful. The problem can arise when it becomes compulsive, interferes with your responsibilities, or goes against your personal values. That's when the psychological consequences can become much more significant. When you decide to take a break, something important happens: you create space. Between the urge and the action, you feel the desire, but you don't immediately obey it. You pause, you breathe, you choose what to do next. Maybe you go for a walk, maybe you exercise, maybe you return to your work, maybe you simply allow the feeling to pass. And every time you successfully make a conscious choice instead of acting automatically, you practice self-control. That's where the psychological benefit can begin. Confidence isn't created by simply avoiding ejaculation. Confidence comes from evidence that you can keep promises to yourself, evidence that you can tolerate discomfort, evidence that you can make decisions according to your values. Imagine telling yourself, I'm going to change this habit, and then actually following through. Day after day, you're proving something to yourself: I can control my behavior. That doesn't make you superior to anyone else, but it can strengthen your sense of self-efficacy, the belief that your actions can influence your life, and that belief can become the foundation of genuine confidence. But there's an important warning: don't turn abstinence into another reason to hate yourself. If you relapse and immediately think, I'm weak, I'm worthless, I've ruined everything, you may actually make the cycle worse. Shame often creates more emotional distress, and emotional distress can trigger the very behavior you're trying to change. Instead, change the question. Don't ask, why am I such a failure? Ask, what triggered me, and what can I change next time? Maybe you were bored, maybe you were stressed, maybe you were alone with your phone late at night. Find the trigger, change the environment, learn from the experience, then continue. If you're going to abstain, don't make your entire life about counting days. Use the time and attention you've recovered to build something: exercise, learn a skill, read, work on your career, build a business, spend more time with people, improve your sleep. Set meaningful goals. The goal isn't simply, I made it to day 30, the better question is, who did I become during those 30 days? If you're still spending 10 hours a day scrolling, avoiding responsibilities, and isolating yourself, a streak alone hasn't transformed your life. But if those 30 days helped you become more disciplined, active, focused, and intentional, then the experience has real value. Going from guilt to confidence isn't about becoming perfect, it's about replacing automatic behavior with conscious choices. It's about learning that an urge doesn't control you, it's about forgiving yourself when you make mistakes, and most importantly, it's about building a life where you don't need constant stimulation to feel good. Don't measure your worth by your streak, measure your progress by your actions. Are you exercising? Are you working toward your goals? Are you keeping your promises to yourself? Are you becoming someone you respect? Because real confidence doesn't come from simply saying no, it comes from knowing that you are capable of choosing what you say yes to. Start there.